I've been living in Pittsburgh for probably about the past 6 years. I originally grew up just outside of Uniontown in Fayette County, and I moved to Pittsburgh to actually start the distillery. It grew from a dream of being able to run my own business by myself, my own hours. And I had originally thought about opening up a brewery because I had been a home brewer for around 10 years or so. I'd seen some legislation coming down the pipeline that actually allowed the direct sales of distilleries in Pennsylvania to the public by the bottle and by the glass. And it seemed to be a really good economic foothold to get started in a newer upcoming industry. So Maggie's Farm is actually the first commercially available Pennsylvania-made rum since Prohibition. We make all of our rums in-house from scratch using a base of turbinado sugar, which is a raw cane rather than molasses, which most rums are distilled from. And we source all of our sugars from farms in Louisiana. Maggie's Farm rums are actually made from a base of turbinado sugar, which is a little bit in contrast to what most distillers are using, which is molasses. Legally in America, rums are to be made from a sugar cane or a derivative of, usually being molasses. Our rums are actually raw sugar, so it's an unprocessed, dehydrated cane juice, which we get from farms in Louisiana. Once it comes here, we do our fermentations using a Caribbean-derived rum yeast. And what that does is it gives it a sort of a fuller body, fuller flavored rum. We double pot distill it, which again leans more towards body and flavor, which is kind of the opposite of neutral Puerto Rican style rums. At that point, it'll be over to become our white rum, which is the base for all of our spirits. It can go to a blending tank with fresh ground spices to become our spiced rum, or be aged in barrels for our aged rums. What makes me passionate about distilling is probably the scientific aspect of it. I've never been happier in my career as when I was actually working with my hands to create something. And particularly with distilling, you're not only using the biological aspect of it to create the alcohol, but then you're using the chemical aspect to concentrate an alcohol into a spirit itself. And doing that at a high quality, it takes a lot of work and a lot of patience and practice to do it right. Of the rums here, we have a white rum, which is our standard unaged rum at 80 proof. Also 80 proof is our spiced rum, which is different in that rather than using flavor extracts like a lot of commercial spiced rums, we're actually using our base of our white rum and putting it on a blend of 8 different hand-ground spices. We have a single barrel aged rum. We also do a take on a sort of a Caribbean classic where we're actually blending rums. In that instance, we're actually mixing our rum in a 50-50 proportion with an aged rum that we get from Trinidad, which is made from molasses and column distilled. It's a really nice complement and a take on a Caribbean tradition. And we also have a round of reserve spirits that we call the Queen Share rums. If I had to pick a favorite rum, I don't think I could. The way I sort of been making these different rums is for different purposes. I think our white rum is really great for a lot of standard mixing cocktails, especially a daiquiri. The spiced rum, also great in cocktails, is really good as just a sipper on ice. The dark rum blend, we kind of came up with that as a good mixer for tiki drinks. And in particular, the single barrel and our Queen Share spirits are just good sipping rums. In the past 3 years since our inception, I believe we are the most awarded American rum distillery. We've won close to 30 different awards, all from prestigious American craft spirits competitions and as well as international spirits competitions. We have won Best Overall Spiced Rum from the American Distilling Institute. We've won 2 years in a row Best Overall Rum from the American Craft Spirits Association. And this past year, we actually won Best Overall Spirit from the American Craft Spirits competition. From the New York International competition, we've actually won Pennsylvania Distillery of the Year twice, and also have 2 double gold medals that we just recently won. 2 double gold medals, no other distillery in the world has more than that from that competition in its history. I believe my goals for Maggie's Farm rum going forward is to actually make the product as good as it can be, but also get it to as many people as possible. So we really want to expand distribution, get it into new markets, while still maintaining our initial goals of quality and actually continue to make the product even better.